That's the last verse in chapter, Luke chapter 9, verse 62. Just want to teach on that tonight. Luke chapter 9, verse 62. This is verses 61 and 62 in this context are only recorded in the book of Luke. You won't find this anywhere else. Matthew 8, you may go over there tonight to kind of give us somewhat of a similar contrast, but this particular verse and these particular words are only recorded in Luke 9, verse 62. The word of the Lord reads on this wise, and Jesus said unto him, no man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of God. Yeah. Tonight, I want to teach on the challenge of being fit. Challenge of being fit. Challenge of being fit. At various points, specifically during the months of about April or May, hey baby Riley, there is normally a great press that people like to get on so that their bodies can be toned for the summer. They start doing 30-day challenges. They start doing water drinking challenges. They start doing vegetable only meals. They start doing Atkins diets, and they start doing a high protein diet, no carb diet, all under the guise of attempting to present a body that seems to be fit when the summertime arises and they can dress skimpier. Okay. They put themselves through so many different challenges. Men and women alike put themselves through so many different challenges to attempt to attain the appearance of being fit. Because many times, Minister Lipscomb, after the summer has ended, the cheeseburger shows up again. The ice cream shows up again. Steak shows up again. After I've made people think that I had it going on for a season, the real me shows back. My God. And in order for one to live a life that is physically fit, there are certain things that we must now practice in order to not just give the appearance, but to actually live in that space. And the same way that there is a challenge to be physically fit, there is a greater challenge to remain spiritually fit. True, sir. The word challenge is simply defined as anything that calls for special effort. Challenge is anything that calls or requires a special effort. Something is not challenging if it does not require an effort. If it just is something that you pick up and do naturally, it is not a challenge. It's just what you do. But it's a challenge when I have to put in time, when I have to practice, when I have to sacrifice, when I have to go beyond. That's a challenge. Young Caleb is learning in the process. He just picked up about a year ago the trumpet. And even though he comes from a musically inclined family, because he did not have the innate ability in him to just pick up the trumpet, blow, and it start sounding like stuff, it has taken him time. Yes, sir. Of practice, of dedication, and commitment that he can now play certain things, but it came with a challenge. Wow. There were some times I'm sure he wanted to quit. How about that? Sometimes he might have wanted to throw the trumpet until Dad reminded him that was money. Yeah. Hello? Because whenever things don't just fall in our lap, Sister Jeannie, that means we've got to be up for the challenge of overcoming it. And many times we're not as successful in life as we could be because we don't like challenges. Sister Akasha would love to live in a space that she could write poems and read them verbatim. But where God is calling her is going to require her to put the paper down and to stand in front of the masses and deliver. Well, that's a challenge. So whenever a challenge is presented, I've got to understand that not just effort, Minister Lipscomb, but special effort has to be put forth in order for me to overcome whatever the challenge is that's being presented to me. So tonight, we're talking about, out of Luke 9:62, just one verse, we're talking tonight on the challenge of being fit. Now, when Jesus is giving this approach, he's speaking to his disciples, Minister Black, and he's explaining to them that there will be various tests connected to you being a true follower of Christ. Let me say that one more time. There will be various, Deaconess Balton, I almost called you minister just so you know what my mind was. There will be various tests that shall arise in order for me to effectively follow Christ. Let me say it like this. There will be. This is going to be kind of radical. What I'm getting ready to say here, Stu. So I'm glad you're here tonight to help push me through it. There will be various challenges. Help me, Lord, for you to follow your pastor.
Yes, real true. Real true.
There will be tests that shall be presented. There will be obstacles that will come.
Obstacles.
There will be hardships that you shall face in order to effectively follow.
Yes, sir.
Jesus talks here, 57. Let me just give it to you since we're here. Same chapter, Luke 9:57. He says, and it came to pass that as they went in the way, a certain man said unto him, Lord, I'll follow you whithersoever you go. Jesus said unto him, listen, foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests. But the Son of Man have not where to lay his head. I don't even have a house out here.
True.
And he said to another one, Black, he said, follow me. But he said, Lord, allow me first to go and bury my father. Jesus said unto him, let the dead bury their dead.
Yes.
But go thou and preach the kingdom of God.
That's the Bible.
And also another said, Lord, I'll follow you. But first, let me go bid them farewell,
let me talk.
which are at home at my house. We see here, Deaconess Foster, that there will always be a challenge, even when we don't see it as being a challenge.
How about that?
Okay, because many of us reading the text, especially from the more emotional standpoint, I won't say female tonight, I'll just say from the emotional, from a more emotional standpoint, says, well, I think it's rude for Jesus to tell the man he can't go bury his daddy. Okay, I'm talking to myself now. Okay.
No, go ahead.
That's just like, how is God even connected to me not being able to go and be there in that moment? How could Jesus even think that I would put him above somebody's funeral?
Sacrilegious. Yes, sir.
It's sacrilegious.
Yes, sir.
How?
Yeah, impossible.
Can I not go do this? So we wouldn't even force to see that as being a challenge, because we're thinking, well, it's our duty to go and to make sure that our family is taken care of. It's our responsibility to go. But Jesus said there are going to be times that you're going to have to put the well-being of the kingdom
That's good. Heavy.
ahead of what you thought your well-being was. Well.
Heavy.
Pastor, I understand you gotta, go out of town, but I gotta work. I mean, I understand, you can drive, can't you? I mean, I'll pray for you. But, you want me to go with you? I gotta go to work. What happened to I'll follow you?
Weather that.
Wherever you go.
Yes, the Bible. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Black is going to be a challenge to effectively follow, whether that's God, your leader, whatever. It's going to be a challenge. But tonight we're going to talk about how we can get there. Let me give you this. The word fit, talking about the challenge of being fit, the word fit as found right here in this particular text, Luke 9:62, is a Greek word called euthetsos. euthetos. E-U-T-H-E-T-O-S. Euthetos. E-U-T-H-E-T-O-S. That word means to be well placed. It means something that is appropriate, something that is suitable, or something that is usable. Euthetos, something that is well placed, appropriate, suitable, or usable. Jesus says, no man, just using the definition of the word out of Luke 9:62, no man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit or well placed for the kingdom. He's not suitable for the kingdom. He's not usable for the kingdom. He's not appropriate for the kingdom. So, Jesus is showing us it's better to have never started with him than to have started with him and decide you want to quit. It was better for you not to join the church than for you to join the church and decide being in the church takes too much of your time. It's better for you to say, I just want to be saved, but not necessarily part of the kingdom. Okay, I'll get to that a little later. All right, so the first point I want to give us tonight in challenge being fit is, Rochelle, we have to have a willingness to commit. That's the point. We got to have a willingness to commit. Now, a willingness to commit by no means, Sister Coop, means that you're perfect. The willingness to commit does not mean that you have arrived at some level of, perfection in your walk with God. But the commitment is saying, I realize I'm still flawed, but I'm not going to let my flaws be my failures. Okay. So commitment is, I understand I still got stuff, Shell, I'm getting right in my life. I understand that there's still measures of me that are yet being bettered. But the commitment side of me, Kanye, says, I'm not going to let my flaws make failures out of me.
That's good, sir.
I'm not going to let my hang-ups cause me to lose what God has for me, because we're going to see tonight that God uses those that are flawed. He uses those who are committed to him in the face of their flaws and don't allow their flaws to be excuses for them to fail. Stoops, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people, much like your pastor, who understand I ain't arrived. I'm not all that. I get it. But even in the face of whatever flaws I may have, I'm not going to allow my flaws to make me be a failure so that I can be committed to the kingdom of God. So the very man that is involved or connected to this particular text, he had just finished talking to the disciples, so inclusive of that was Peter. So we identify that Peter was one, Minister Black, who was flawed,
yes, sir,
but he was committed.
Yes, sir.
I'll take the flawed person as long as they can be committed.
Yes, sir.
I'll take them. I'll take the flawed with me wherever we want to go. I just need to know if you can be committed.
That's real.
Now, Jesus and Peter have a little talk back in Matthew chapter 16. Now, the disciples are together, Deaconess Foster, all of them are there. Jesus having a back and forth with disciples. He says, listen, who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And the disciples are saying, some say you're Elijah, some say you're John the Baptist. And then Jesus says, well, who do you say that I am? Peter gets a revelation at that moment. Peter says, you're Christ, Son of the living God. Jesus said, Peter, you got it. You just had an aha moment. Stick right there, because that's where revelation is. He says, upon your confession, I'm going to build the church, and the gates of hell will not be able to prevail against it. I'm in the Bible, Luke 16. Yeah. So after all of this occurs, Jesus now in the 21st verse of Luke 16 says, all right, guys, I need y'all to understand people are getting ready to kill me. I'm getting ready to lose my life. I'm getting ready to die. Peter, the anointed one.
Yeah.
That just had a revelation, had an aha moment.
It's clear.
He was hearing from God. He was on point. He thought he could conquer the world. He said, far be it from you, Jesus. You're not going to die. Jesus has to now look at the flawed Peter. And he says, get behind me, Satan.
Goodness.
Because what you're speaking is not of God for me. Now, Minister Black,
Yes,
I oftentimes get it, but a lot of people don't. So I'm going to try to bring you into my space. I get it, how somebody, catch this shell, can be on point, but still all over the place.
What a word. What a word.
Deaconess Black, people can be literally, I'm talking about spot on prophetic, but still be all over the place.
Wow.
Pastor, how does a person get like that? Okay, that's a person, Minister Black,
Yes, sir.
who's committed, but they got flaws.
Go ahead.
They there. Peter was there with him. He was in his corner. He was his biggest supporter. He was a rah-rah cheerleader. But whenever there were challenges, oh God, let me just say it. Whenever there were challenges to Jesus being presented to others, is when the flaws came out of Peter's life.
Interesting.
Catch this. Just because you're a leader doesn't mean you got Jesus cornered to yourself.
Yeah. Real true.
Let me go a step further.
Go ahead.
Just because you're a leader doesn't mean you got your pastor cornered to yourself.
Real true.
Because when I see a committed person that's flawed, I see them getting a little sensitive when pastor has to be spread beyond their circle. No. Because the commitment says, I want to cover you. Help me tonight.
Go ahead.
I want to cover you from what people might do to you as if you don't know what God told you to do already.
Go
You
ahead.
know, Pastor, I'm just trying to look out for you. And I appreciate that, but I think God sent me.
Yeah.
So if he sent me,
Sent.
I think he prepared me for what you think I don't see when I'm already seeing past what you think you do see.
Wow.
So the flaws show up when commitment gets a little jealous.
That's real.
The flaws start rising when the committed one says, somebody might come take my place. Let me teach tonight.
Go and teach, Pastor. Go and teach.
The flaws start popping up when I wonder why Pastor he talked to me after service. We normally have a moment, and it seems like that moment was stolen by somebody else. That's when all the flaws start showing up.
Flaws.
The next day, you cussing people now. Why? Because the flaws start popping up because the commitment was challenged. And that's why I said, well, I get it, Sister Tiana, how people can be on point but still be all over the place, but because they're not understanding that commitment does not equal control.
Wow. That's heavy. You're right.
Commitment can equal access, but it doesn't equal control. Deal with it, Hinton. Okay, I will, Lord. Since you got me out here. So just because Pastor might not respond to you as fast as you would like him to, does not mean that now, Pastor trying to be funny.
Go ahead.
Here tonight in the spirit.
Yeah.
I wonder why Pastor, he lonely when he hit me back. I wonder why I ain't heard from him. It's been 2 days. Man, what's going on now? Your life is starting to get flawed. Because your commitment started challenged. Okay, here it is. Willingness to commit. Catch this, Black. You're going to like this. You really, if nobody else, you're going to like this. He says, or God showed me this day, he said commitment, Hinton, outweighs flaws. Commitment outweighs flaws. Where do you see that, Pastor? Well, in the same vein with this man, Peter, Jesus tells Peter, let's look at this. Let's go to Luke 23. Luke 23. Teaching tonight on the challenge of being fit. Challenge of being fit. First point we made and that we're on right now in that is there must be a willingness to commit. We talked about just, even from a physical standpoint of how one desiring to be fit has to put forth some effort. And same way in the spiritual. You know, physically, you want to get in shape, you want to get fit, you got to commit to your workout schedule. If you're a walker, you know, rain shouldn't stop your walking.
Oh my.
If you're a weightlifter and you say, well, you know, I'm going to go 3 times a week, well, you know, the fact you work overtime shouldn't stop you 3 times a week. If I'm committed, here it is. Committed or commitment, Deaconess Foster, the word defined means a pledge. Okay, a commitment is a pledge, which means that, Evans, this is why I like you so much, you know, a commitment is supposed to be that whatever your word is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't tell somebody one thing and then intentionally do something else.
Intentionally.
Like, where is God in that? I'm still trying to find him in that one, Bro Jose, how people can say, you know, stuff that they're going to do as Christians. And then they don't never do it. Like, what is that? Like, I'm confused. It baffles me because you're saying you're saved. So if you saved and I'm saved and we believe we're supposed to operate on the same level, then why is my commitment more weighty than yours? Prime example about commitment. I said I won't go do this tonight, but Sister Kanisha, I got to do it because I just heard the Lord say it. The prime example of commitment is supposed to be marriage.
Right. Go ahead.
It's supposed to be. That I took a pledge that I think they still say this. I know I say it when I marry people. That for better or worse. Oh, okay. Which means that Sister Tiana, some days literally are going to be the worst.
All right.
Literally.
It's in there.
Like, thank you. Literally. I'm talking about like I want to kick you today. Then I want to like suplex you, old school.
Kill you. No,
I don't want to kill him. But he was just helping. He was just helping me.
Yeah.
He was trying to help me fast. That's commitment. That's where the flaws come.
Yeah.
So, but literally, there are days, Jenkins. That's why I got to call you Jenkins. Yeah, there are literally days that this is the absolute worst. Well, commitment says I've got to embrace the worst. Not split when the worst shows up. Help me today, Jesus. I hope I'm stepping on some toes. Because I'm looking for a generation of people that are willing to fight through the worst. With the understanding that there have to be some better.
That's good. That's good.
But because, Shell, we've not embraced enough of a definition or understanding of what commitment looks like, we still feel like our I do came with a clause. I do just in case, though. I do with the exception of you doing that, though. No, that's not what you said for the preacher. When you had your dress on, you had your tux on, you were feeling good, taking pictures, and you were just I doing.
I doing.
You were I doing. Well, you know it's going to be hard. It can't be. He's the greatest. You know it's going to be difficult. I got this. You know you ain't going to want to do it all the time. Not with hers. Look how beautiful she is. There has to be a foundation. This is why at this church, I don't care how large we grow, how far out we go, whatever we do, it's going to always come back to a strong family.
Yes.
Because I understand that if we can embrace the commitment of loving somebody that is difficult, it's going to be easy to love those that are lovable.
That's good, sir.
That's why everybody loves Baby Riley, because she's lovable. She just looks at you, and when she looks at you, you're like, oh man, can I give her $1 or something? Do I have a lollipop? Is there something I can do within my power to be a blessing to her? Because she's lovable. So if I can love somebody that's not lovable, it's going to be easy for us to have an effect on the world that's in pain. If I can learn, Deaconess Foster, how to love tomboy, I mean like really love him, like oil in his head loving him, that's when I find it easy to love my pastor. Because if I can love the one whose breath I gotta smell,
Let's go ahead on, Pastor.
if I can love the one
deal with it.
whose feet stink, certainly I can love my pastor. That's easy. I'm high-fiving. Pastor, what can I do for you? Man, why you so lovable? Well, because I found out how to love my wife.
Go ahead, sir.
23. teaching tonight and challenging. I told the Lord when I was doing this thing, I said, God, I want to stay calm tonight. So I'm going to try. Because I told him, I said, I want to stay calm. All right, Luke 23. Lord help me. I don't even think that's the right school. Let me see. Luke 22. Luke 22. That's 22. Luke 22, verse 31. Talking about that the challenge of being fit. First point we made is that there must be a willingness to commit. That my flaws will not become failures. That's what I got to be committed to. That my flaws will not become failures. We're talking now that commitment outweighs our flaws. Looking at Peter, Jesus says to him in Luke 22, verse 31, he says, and the Lord says, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan have desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I prayed for you, that your faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. And he said unto him, Sister Dukes, he said, Lord, I'm ready to go with you, both into prison and to death. Peter talked big. And he said, Peter, he said, I tell you, Peter, the cock shall not crow this day before thou shalt thrice deny that thou knowest me. Now, Minister Black, if I was Jesus, which I'm not, and I'm thankful, but if I was Jesus, little Corey, having the knowledge that Peter was going to quit on me, having the insight that Peter was going to bail on me when it got tough, I'm not going to take Peter with me. Right. I'm just going to be honest with him. I'm just not. He's not going to go because I already got insight that he's going to quit when it gets tough. But Mama, Jesus is trying to teach your pastor something, and I pray he's teaching y'all this too, that commitment should outweigh the person's flaws. Right. The fact that Peter was with him enough gave him the confidence that even though I know when it gets real tight you're going to quit on me, at least you're going to be with me on my way. Right. That there is, and then I'm really praying, Shell, that God continue to just mature this in me and mature us in this, because I had to come to grips the other day that not everybody is going to go with us. I came to the realization on Monday that not everybody that started with us is going to see what there looks like for us. Wow. Amen. Wow. And I said, Lord, that's heavy. So show them to me now. This is what I told the Lord. I'm just being real. Can I be real tonight, Ms. Wilson? Okay. I told the Lord, show them to me now, so I don't take them too far.
Wow. The work. Yes, sir.
Show them to me now, so that I don't even start getting them involved in where we're going. Because if they're going to drop off like Peter, identify them to me today, so I'll know how to deal with them on their way out. And he said, son, I'm not going to show you.
You're teaching.